Hey guys, Time for Lunchtime here. Today we're going to talk about a website called TrymyUI, and this is a usability type website. If you've ever gone on a site that pays you to test websites or apps, this is just like them. I've talked about many of them before in LushDollar. This isn't as popular, but it's when you could sign up. They do pay $10 or more per test, and what happens is web designers and coders and that will want real people to test their sites and apps before they are made public. So this is where you'll come in and you'll test it. So for example, it'll look something like this. You'll see a website like this and you'll have to speak your thoughts aloud like me, and you'll be giving prompts. So for example, it'll say, what do you think of the color scheme that you see here? And you'll talk out loud, say, oh, I like the blue and the white, so forth. Or it might say, how does the form look? How easy is it to fill out? You say it's very simple, straight to the point, etc. And so you'll usually do a video recording of your screen, never your face, it's just your voice. So as long as you're comfortable recording your voice for a couple minutes and then filling out a little survey, then this is something to consider. So in this review, let me show you how it works, how much you can make, and as always, if it's worth your time. Okay, to sign up, I'm going to show you how it works. I put the link in the description as always. It's going to ask for your full name here as well as your PayPal email. You do need a PayPal account because this is how they pay out. If you scroll down to the frequently asked questions right here, payments are sent out every weekday morning through PayPal. Tests are cleared for payment. After the review, then you get your payment sent. There's no minimums. That's what's great about it. So you'll just have to make sure your test is completed as the developer wants you to do it, and as long as it gets approved, you'll get paid the next day. Create a password, and then once you hit the create account button, this is what's going to happen once you go through that first page. It's going to ask for some demographic information, and they need this information because the customers who we provide usability tests for frequently ask for a particular demographic. So let's say you're testing out a dating app or a pet app, and they want to make sure you're born in a certain year, or they want to make sure that you have kids because it's related to kids or family status, such as being married. They only want married people, and they'll use this information or match you with appropriate tests. So you're going to have to fill this all out. They won't pay you for this like a lot of survey sites do, but it only should take you a minute or so, and let me show you what happens after you fill out this demographic profile. You'll then be asked to confirm your email after you do that little demographic profile, and once you do so, this is what will happen next. And once you confirm your email address, it's going to give you guidelines for testings. Website designers and app designers want to know how real people like you use their site and apps, because by figuring out where it's confusing, frustrating, or annoying, you can make it better. So if you're interested in giving your thoughts and impressions, are going to pay for it. So what makes you a good tester here? Read instructions out loud. So from the moment you start the test, you should read every instruction out loud. This is critical because you're going to need to know what they want from you. Also put yourself in the right frame of mind. Every test will begin with a frame of mind you should adopt. So for example, maybe the frame of mind is that you're planning a wedding. So put yourself in that situation. Would it be indoors? Would you have a date in mind? How many people would you invite? So pretend you're in that situation to help the developers out here and perform all the tasks in order. There'll be directions 1, 2, 3, 4. You must attempt all the tasks in the test before submitting it, never jump ahead, and it's okay to go back. So make sure that just like the directions, you're following each step and you're doing it in order. And as long as you understand, and they're pretty straightforward, just basically follow the directions, put yourself in the shoes, and just provide as good feedback as you can. And once you go to the next page here, there's a couple more guidelines here. You're going to want to follow task instructions closely. Again, follow those instructions. They can't emphasize it enough. And since you're going to be talking 99% of the time, always keep talking. Verbalize your impressions, your expectation. Don't just be simple saying, this site's confusing. Just say why and move on. Always talk. It's going to be a lot of talking. So if you're not comfortable with that, this is not going to be something that you're going to want to do. And then pay special attention to little things that could be improved. Nothing's ever too small to mention. So if you see there could be improvements, always bring that up because these designers are looking for any feedback, both positive and negative. So don't be afraid to speak your thoughts. And then in the end, you're going to have to do a little written survey test. And this is where you'll answer all the questions and support your comments. So that'll be where you're right instead of talking your thoughts out loud. So as long as you know these guidelines, you can click the finish button here. You'll then sign a non-disclosure agreement because basically you'll not talk about what you're doing, sharing anything you see in the websites or the apps you test. Just read through that. You'll agree. Go on to the continue here. And once you do so, you're going to be on your dashboard, which is going to look something like this. And you have your profile. Make sure that's all up to date before you go here. And then you can go to the My Test section there. And this is where you will see live tests and tests that will pop up. There's also qualification tests. And before you even start, you do need to pass the qualification test to start performing usability tests. So this is your dashboard will look like. They also have live tests where you can join up 30 minutes ahead of time, wait for an open slot, and then you'll follow instructions in a live video call. So there's a whole bunch of options here. You do need to, again, take this qualification test. You can click here on the begin, and you do need to pass it, and they'll record your full screen, cursor, or voice. And it uses a screen recorder application, so you will need to download that and follow the rules, and that'll just be a little test that they want to see that you could speak your thoughts out loud and whatnot. And usually they'll give you heads up if you're approved or not. Usually within a couple of days. This depends how busy they are. Okay, so if you want to test websites, apps, you're going to make maybe $10 or $20 per test. Don't expect to make much with this site, maybe $40 or $50 a month doing so. There's a lot of sites that are like this that you could get paid to test. This isn't on the top. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It'd be in the middle, but I'll link to a guide I've written in the past too on getting paid to test sites. So as long as you're comfortable speaking out loud and following directions and you know you can do it, you can sign up and get approved usually within a couple days, and you can start working once those jobs pop up on your dashboard. So that's going to do it for now. As always, go to lushdow.com. Hundreds of ways to make money, save money. I just created this website as well as this channel just to inform you. It's all I'm ever going to do. I just want to show you what's out there and to speak my honest thoughts and leave it up to you to decide. As always, I want to thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It always helps me out. It's going to do it for now. I'll see you guys next time.